Busy Banks. Dave, give me the lowdown on Busy Banks.
Bizzy Banks, we just mentioned him last week, a uh, hard to miss feature of Pop Smoke's posthumous album Faith, his second album. That check our review, youtube.com/nostalgiapod. We weren't the biggest fans of this one, but I think Bizzy Banks made a noticeable impression with his feature, given that there were a lot of features. So you did need to bring it to stand out. And he's the latest ascendant Brooklyn rapper, and he's, I think, pretty new. There's only the one mixtape, Get Money Volume One, that came out in September 2020. This new mixtape, Same Energy, right? Same Energy, yeah,
Same
Same
energy,
Energy,
correct?
just came out, and kind of a continuation of what he was doing last year. Someone who I wasn't sure of this when we talked about him last week, but he was like close with Pop Smoke, and in the wake of Pop Smoke's passing, and we kind of been constantly talking about who's gonna pick up the torch for Brooklyn rap, right? Not just Brooklyn drill music, which continues to evolve and adapt, I guess, especially in the production side, but just in general, like the star power of it all. Pop Smoke had so much charisma, so much star power in such a short time. Is it possible for someone to take that mantle? We even talked about this last year with Little TJ's mixtape, right? Given his claims. And I think the most exciting rappers have remained coming out of Brooklyn. And Busy Banks is the latest one, and I think for good reason. I think he's quite talented on the mic.
Yeah, I was really impressed with this album. Same energy, and I do want to say the context is out of all the albums we listened to this week, this was the last one I listened to, so it was kind of a pick me up in a way, because I think some of the albums we're going to be talking about are a little bit more like toned down, sing songy, or just like heavier topics, and this is just like New York drill, bringing the heat, bringing the energy for almost all the way through. He flows great over these tracks, and I found this to just be really fun. And again, maybe this is somewhat colored by my experience with the other albums we're going to talk about, but this was a real pleasure, and I feel like this is a person I'm excited to be tuning into this early in their career because it feels like there's potential for them to really pop off. Um, what did you like about the album? What stood out to you?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's nothing like super groundbreaking. I just think he has like really good flow right from the start on Sturdy 30. Like it's just
Hmm.
really good flow. He has a really good delivery,
Great
and
first track.
yeah, it's just the shit's hot, you know.
Hmm.
And he does try and switch it up a little bit, like later on, like hot sauce. The delivery is not quite as high energy, but I still think it works. You know, on a song like "Adore You" with PNB Rock. Now, don't know if he quite has the light crooning, more melodic side down yet. We also
Hmm.
definitely don't even need to worry about that because what he does
No.
have down is just spitting hot tracks, you know. And
Yeah.
listening to him, listening to this, listening to Get Money Volume One, lyrically, he does pack in some like tight wordplay if you're listening closely, kind of speaking about like Brooklyn culture contemporaneously, like what it's like to live in the outer boroughs. Like he's from East New York, and how that's juxtaposed to the more uh, gentrified areas where all that money's going. The money doesn't seem to go to where the real Brooklyn people live. So you can catch references to that here and there in his songs as well. But even if you're not listening for that, the shit's still hot.
Yeah, absolutely. The two that you shouted out, Sturdy 30 and Hot Sauce, really stood out to me. I think also Bandemic, just very
Mhm.
catchy. Kind of hard to really jive with anything pandemic related, but
Yeah.
somehow I was with this, so I was pretty impressed with that. Um, yeah, I agree with you. I think his strengths are he flows well. He can kind of bring in some of that experience of his life as I think he's from the Brooklyn, right? A Brooklyn drill rapper.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
those outer
East New York,
boroughs.
Brooklyn. Now lives in Jersey.
And yeah, I think overall this is just an album I was not really expecting, but came away pleasantly surprised with. So I highly recommend everybody check out Same Energy if you're a fan of rap and especially drill. Any last thoughts on this?
Yeah, only 500,000 monthly listeners right now on Spotify, but he is signed to Atlantic Records, so I hope Atlantic invests in him because with more exposure, I think more people will certainly latch on.